When politics meets the hospital world, justice itself becomes a patient on life support. The case of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is no longer just about terrorism charges. It is now a fight over health, human rights, and the credibility of Nigeria's justice system. Tonight, we are going to break it down, the court drama, the medical confusion, and the big questions every Nigerian should be asking. Nnamdi Kanu has been in DSS custody for years, facing a 7-count terrorism charge. Recently, his health became the new battleground. Listen carefully. A private medical team led by retired professor of medicine, Dr. Martin Agaji, examined Kanu and raised the alarm. They reported issues with his pancreas, liver, dangerously low potassium, and even a growing lump under his armpit. Their recommendation was clear. Move him immediately to National Hospital in Abuja or even a foreign hospital for urgent treatment. But the federal government said no. Through senior lawyer Chief Adeboyega Awomolo, SAN, the government told the court that Kanu's health can be treated inside the DSS medical facility. They claimed the private report was exaggerated, suspicious, and prepared without DSS doctors present. They even warned that taking Kanu to the National Hospital could create chaos and security risk for thousands of other patients. Before I continue, okay, is he supposed to be in DSS custody? Why should he be in DSS custody? Or his case is a special case? Why should he be in DSS custody? Is it where he should be? Now, let's continue. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court listened to both sides and made a middle ground ruling. He ordered the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, to set up an independent panel of 8 to 10 doctors, including a cardiologist, a neurologist, and the chief medical director of the National Hospital. Now, this team must, 1, visit the DSS facility, 2, examine Nnamdi Kanu directly, check if the DSS clinic can handle his treatment. Number 4, submit a full report within 8 days. Now, this independent report will guide the court on whether to transfer Kanu to National Hospital. While the health debate rages, the terrorism trial itself is moving forward. Kanu's lawyer tried a no-case submission, asking the judge to dismiss all charges for lack of evidence. You remember that was where we are before they started talking about his health again. So they filed for a no-case submission. Now, here is what the judge said. Justice Omotosho rejected the request, ruling that the government has presented enough evidence to require Kanu to open his defense. This means the legal battle is far from over. Medical issues or not, the legal battle is far from over. Let's be honest, this whole situation feels like a tug of war between health and politics. Health should come first, let him be treated. If a man is truly sick, medical care should not be a bargaining chip. Pancreas or liver problems are not politics. They are life and death. So, government concerns are real but convenient. The fear of chaos and escape is understandable. And maybe they stage escape wherever. But keeping Kanu strictly inside DSS care also gives the government total control and limits independent eyes on his condition. You know how the DSS thing is, how it takes you, the criteria for you to get in this and that. You remember those days, if Nnamdi Kanu's legal team comes to see him, you remember what they reported? Put your shoe. I don't know. Sometimes it's like you'll be stripped down to your panties. I don't know what how it is now. But I must commend the court. Yes, the decision to bring in the Nigerian Medical Association is the best way to cut through the noise. An independent medical report can either confirm the DSS confidence or support the private doctors, their warning. So we are looking at what will happen next, since they have given the enemy the order to get involved. So now here's the bigger picture. This is more than one man's health. Nnamdi Kanu is a symbol of a Biafra movement. Every decision about him carries heavy political meaning from Abuja to the southeast and across the diaspora. Many people are watching this matter. It is not just about, it has to do with human rights and the rest of them. Now, these are the big questions Nigerians should be asking. Can we trust DSS doctors to be completely neutral? Now, if the NMA confirms serious illness, will the government obey the court's decision? What will they do next? If Kanu remains in DSS care and his health worsens, who takes responsibility? Could this medical battle increase tension in the southeast? It has already increased the Nnamdi Kanu matter. It is the reason why sit at home is there. It is the reason why the sit at home started. And the sit at home has caused so much insecurity in the region. And I keep asking, will the federal government, because of one man, destroy the southeast? Because I see a wicked government in Nigeria. Buhari's government was wicked, continue to Tinubu's government. Will it because of one man? Where is the area of diplomacy and, having a kind of dialogue? Where is this? Must the government win at all time? If government releases Nnamdi Kanu, does it mean the government has lost? Are they, I think, just like we have discussed some few times, they want our region to scatter. They want us to, they want to pile us up, keep going to Lagos, work for these people. At the end of the day, they strip us of our money. That is it. They want our region destroyed. I'm not saying the government is totally the one doing that, but they are part of it. We have people from our place who are also destroying our region. But the federal government is part of the problem. Anything that happens now could increase tension, and we don't want that. So, should security concerns ever override a detainee's right to independent treatment? We are watching. The next 8 days are critical. Sincerely, the enemy's report will either calm nerves or inflame the debate. If it shows DSS can handle the treatment, the trial will continue without medical transfer. Now, if it proves Kanu needs hospital care, the government will face pressure to allow the move. And the world will be watching as the world has been watching. The world will be watching as the world has been watching. You got me? So, justice is not only about courtrooms, it's also about compassion and transparency. Nnamdi Kanu deserves a fair trial and proper medical care. The Nigerian people deserve the truth, not rumors. Stay with IGBO Area TV as we track every development from the NMA panel to the courtroom battles. Now, because in matters of health and justice, truth is the only medicine that works. We will continue to give you updates.
We just need a clarification on the ruling on the NMA. What exactly was the position of the court on that for the benefit of this? Was it dismissed? Was it rejected? Or what are we supposed to take out of it?
Well, the ruling simply requires Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, to enter his defense. It's not a pronunciation of guilt or not guilty. So that is why it's called a no-case submission. So the judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court Abuja, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing by mistake that these things were not in evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we are coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
So what about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise, but there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, you know, I don't think NA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained. And we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the National Hospital was rejected?
Rejected? No, it's pending. Yes.
One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. It's pending. It's pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of the Nigerian Medical Association. And you know, if you were in court, the judge had ordered that the committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the National Hospital. So National Hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. No, we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it as a war against the Igbos.
Thanks for watching. I'm Azuka OJ. Make sure you share this video widely. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. Bye bye for now.
This is a unique opportunity for Nigeria to